Ish. What time is it, do you know?
5:30.
Okay, so it's about 5:30, and we are just about to bug out down to my mom's. I'm taking the Peekaboo because, you know, good luck. It is Saturday, September 9th, 2017 at 7:53 a.m. and I just dropped my wife off at work, where she is rather heroically. Ridiculous little cans. I'm staying with my... Whoa. I'm staying with my mom, and she's 80, and well, people buy teeny things for some reason. 81, actually. Anyway, where she is heroically working, because just basically everybody called in sick today, so there's no there's nobody to work at that old folks' home. And it's only about... crap. I was starting to yell at the guy who cut me off right there for being a jackass and cutting me off, but then I realized that, no, I'm the jackass. I have a camera in my face, and I sort of cut him off. So, no more taping while driving. This is the room that we're staying at in my parents' house. My son, Bay, has the den across the way with a fold-out couch. And my wife and I are doing the 1950s Rob and Laura Petrie thing. Yeah, I know what I just said, and I'm not actually working the camera. It's my son doing it this time. Say hi, Bay.
Hello.
Okay, this house over here is my Aunt Marge's house, which is just about the highest point in the entire subdivision. Should we need to evacuate where we are now, this is pretty close to 40 feet above sea level, so we'll go here. Huh, I guess Marge didn't get the memo. I really hope this tree survives. I love this tree. It survived every storm for the 41 years that my folks have had this house, but these things tend to flop over. For those of you outside of Florida, this is called a live oak, and yeah, they always look like that.
Try not to break your everything.
As you can see, it's still actually really nice out. Actually, it's nicer than it's been in months. It's slightly breezy. It's usually really hot and miserable in summer. It's actually really pleasant out here now. No indication of the satanic fury that's bearing down upon us as we speak. The keys have been evacuated, by the way. Ha ha ha! The tree has survived yet another storm. That tree is indestructible. God, I love those things. We've always called that one the boathouse, and it's actually pretty appropriate. It's the second highest house in all of Westlake, and it has never ever flooded. And of course, there's the water it'll be a boat on. Here's a little before shot of the lake behind my mom's house. You can't actually see my mom's house from here, but it's on the exact opposite side of the lake. After. Before. After. This is one of 3 main storm drains that empties into the lake. Though that can standing up there is a emergency drain. If the lake goes too high, that's supposed to dump it into the mostly empty sinkhole under here. Want to guess how many times that's worked? I'll give you a hint. It's less than 1. Anyway, before shot. After. And you'll note that the drain pipe is gone. Before. After. I like Spanish moss. A lot of people think it's creepy. A lot of people think it looks like banjo pickers and Ned Beatty, but I love the stuff. I think it's neat. Before. After. More after. Before. After. Before. After. This is my mom's house from the outside, by the way. My mom's house from the back. Well, that can't really get too much worse if it's submerged, can it? Well, like I said, not much else could happen to this. Before, after. Before, after. You can compare this to my earlier shot. The vegetables are all gone. There's still plenty of meat here, but nobody's buying it because it'll spoil if we lose power. And of course the deli is pretty much closed out too. Plenty of milk though. Pretty much picked over soft drink wise, so if you want to avoid caffeine withdrawal, that's it. Everybody's grabbed everything except for Coke Zero. Absolutely nobody would drink Coke Zero. People would prefer to die than drink Coke Zero. I am understandably somewhat concerned about all of these windows. There's really nothing that we can do to close them off or make them more secure.
Introducing the all-new cross-track.
What you doing? How's it going? Good. How was your day? The stores all close in about 20 minutes, so everybody is in doing the last bit of shopping that they can before everybody goes home to be with their families.
I don't take those pills until night. I'm not going to rely on the pill.
It is Sunday, September 10th, 8:34 a.m., and yeah, I do sleep in my clothes. The storm has hit the Keys. As you can see, it's starting to get windy and rainy, so first thing this morning we threw anything on the pool deck into the pool so that it won't blow out. I just dropped Sandra off at work again. I am somewhat scatterbrained, especially in a crisis situation, so I write this on here so that I don't forget and take my pills twice. Because no disaster is so bad that it couldn't get made worse by an overdose. That's always been like that, believe it or not. There's where the big curved tree ended up. If I'm seeming to be unusually cavalier about this whole thing, it's probably because I'm an asshole, and that's one of the ways that assholes use to keep their calm, being cavalier. Or at least pretending to. However, I am a bit concerned. Coming to this house was our backup plan. I have formulated a backup plan to our backup plan, which is going to Marge's if things go underwater here. And I've got a backup plan to that backup plan, which is us going over to St. Mark's and riding the storm out with the old folks, since they've offered. And then there's some other stuff that I'm working on. We'll see. I don't think any of this is going to really happen, but the last tracks aren't really very encouraging. Holy crap. Try that again. I assume that was just rust in the pipes. This bathroom doesn't get used very much.
Coming west 40 to 50 knots with gusts to around 65 knots in the afternoon. Knots diminishing to 20 to 25 knots after midnight.
What I'm doing here is filling bathtubs and showers up with water. That way we can use the water to flush the toilets if we lose water, which is possible. This is our tornado room, should it come to that. It's, you know, not the greatest place in the world, but it could do worse. Hopefully that'll hold. storing water just in case we need it. This bucket holds enough for one person for 4 days. Oh good, it's holding. I didn't actually expect it to. Awesome, that's holding too. Once again, I did not expect the drain to work. The wind did not knock the plants over. We haven't actually had any substantial wind yet. We just did that to keep them from getting knocked over. The logic of which actually escapes me a little bit, but it's not my house. This is the garage. Obviously we brought everything else in from the rest of the house so that it wouldn't go blowing all over the place. And projectiles are a problem in hurricanes. Axes if I need them. And pull down ladder into the attic if I need that. I'm heading to pick up my wife from work. They're going to be closing the roads in about an hour or so. She needs to go. The rains have obviously come. The storm just hit Marco Island, which is absolutely terrible for them, but not so bad for us, as it means that by the time it gets here, about 190 miles away, it should have lost an awful lot of its power. Okay, that was unexpected. This is before I even made it out of my own subdivision. If you don't have a lid, you can use saran wrap. Actually isn't working as well as I hoped. We just had our first power outage. When I picked up Sandra from work, there were a couple while I was in the lobby there. They've got their own generator though, so it kicked in. But yeah, we just had our first one here, just a brownout, but I'm sure there'll be more. This is Bay here fixing the server when we lost power. Cooking up all of the frozen meats and stuff since we're gonna probably lose refrigeration. They tell us that closing all of the doors will alleviate strain on the structure of the house, and as it happens, this house has a lot of doors. I know, crazy, right?
They're all closed now, right?
Mm-hmm. Something broke out here. Knocked over, sounded like a tree. Hey, what do you know? I was actually able to get the Wi-Fi back running again. For me, that's pretty remarkable. Hello, I waited here for you. Shine up my old brown shoes, put on a brand new shirt. Come on, man, from work, if you say that you love me. Okay, we seem to have lost power pretty much for the duration. It's been kind of, you can hear it kind of kicking in and out, trying to come back on, but we're losing it for the time being, I think. And if it could ever be this good forever. Could ever be this real again. Only thing I ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say it. And she sang.
Alright, somebody posted that they were going to shoot Irma if Irma came near them, or as Irma came close. So unfortunately, a lot of people thought that was a great idea, so
Great idea.
Pasco County government and urged people not to use their firearm and shoot up into the sky during the hurricane. Because number one, it wasn't going to prevent the hurricane from coming. It wasn't going to slow the storm down. And might have some unfortunate consequences.
And this made the national news?
Yeah, it went national, yeah.
God, I love Florida. As it turns out, all those books that I thought I had downloaded on my Kindle are actually on some kind of cloud dealy or whatever, and as a result, I can't read them. Dark is not my favorite color. It is Monday, September 11th, 2017, 4:54 a.m. The storm is pretty much over. There's still some pretty strong winds, but nothing like there was last night. It's still no power, though. Been about 7 or 8 hours without it. Kind of warm in the house. Looking forward to wandering around outside tomorrow, though, and seeing what kind of damage there is and where the water level is and stuff like that. Not tomorrow morning, but this morning.